Hello ladies and gentlemen, SeKo Starcraft, and it's game 2 between Bomber and Flash. Go check out game 1 on my channel, SeKo Starcraft. You can see the link down below if you haven't seen it yet. Amazing game, really creative, because I'm about to spoil the hell out of it while we're just getting this game underway. Alright, you've had your chance. Now, what I really enjoyed about that, and I was talking about what does it take to try to make new cool strategies, we actually saw something really different out of Bomber, which was a 2-factory reactor mass hellion bust. Now this is at the stage of the game when it was all about hellbat drops, nothing but hellbat drops, which is what Flash went for. He got some good damage in by it, but he lost all of his workers, all of his infrastructure, and got totally broken down by what was a really, I'm not going to say a simple strategy, because it takes some balls to pull off, but an extremely aggressive one. And I do it sometimes against Zerg players because it's so mineral intensive, so you don't need to take all of your gases. But I usually go 2-factory blue flame hellion because you're dealing with a lot of Zerglings usually. In this case against Flash, who is walling off again, we had an opportunity. Tiny rock. It's not even big rock, it's tiny rock. It's got armor of 1 too. Well defended rock. I think Flash was just completely caught off guard. His bunker got shot down immediately. If you try to repair with SCVs, the splash damage from the Hellion goes right through and obviously kills your SCVs. Try to get down a mine, splash damage killed the mine. It was just ridiculous. So anywho, barracks. Once again, I was talking about that Bomber is one of the few Terrans that I see that just doesn't wall off. And most of the times you'd say, well, why not wall off? You gotta build the buildings anyways. One, you do save a slight bit of time if you build stuff at home. But the other case is that if you do get sieged up on the low ground, you can lose these buildings, and if you lose your supply depots that are at the front, they become supply blocked. It's quite difficult. It's quite difficult to be able to bust through and be able to recover from that. We have a really fast factory here out of Bomber. No consideration to a command center. On this side, we actually don't have any tech yet. That factory is super fast. Which would lead me to think that it is either going to be into banshees, which means we'll see a gas come down here pretty soon. Oh, he's shooting Rock Tower. Does Rock Tower fall? It must. Which, because in this map, which you generally only see on the GSL, you actually have an expansion down at the bottom that you can take. So it's sometimes worthwhile to knock down these rocks. This expansion's nice to take anyways, so keeping it open is awesome. But apparently that is not the interest here. It is going to be a starport, which I'm sure Flash would have predicted. Let's just see how well he can deal with it. Seeing the timing of that factory, to me, looks like it's either a super fast rush into some sort of a drop like Widow Mines, or you're going to have somebody throwing a Banshee at you, potentially with Cloak. This gas timing obviously would lead me to believe that Cloak will be the case. Now, I don't know if this was recently after the Cloak got the nerf. We're going to find out. We've already got just about 200 gas coming out now. We'll see right now if that is the case. No, but it's actually still super expensive. So he'll be getting that Cloak down, but it's going to be another just chunk of time before he can actually afford to get that out. Interesting enough, we can see which direction both these players want to expand. Flash is going to go forward. Bomber is going to go to the side. Handful Marines here. Alright, sorry about that. I actually had gotten myself a phone call. This is about where we had left off there, and interestingly, we got Bomber going for his expansion, but we've already got the orbital finished for Flash. And last game, very notably, Flash was up by almost 20 SCVs by the time Bomber came for his attack. So if Flash held it off, it would have just been a win. Flash is known for just being a macro beast, beasting it out. Still pretty much tied at this moment, but his command center is done sooner, and it'll begin producing stuff. What is interesting for me, though, is that this Banshee is on the way. Cloak will be finished in just a couple of seconds. Yep. Now let's see how well Flash can deal with this. There is a Viking out, but his Raven is going to be fairly delayed. There is... So, now, well, we've got down missile turrets on both bases and a Viking out. Should be pretty good. It's generally not worth your time as a Banshee owner to sit around and shoot other buildings. Second Banshee's on the way over. Raven's about to finish. So I think Flash should be in a pretty decent spot. This base is now finished in mining as well. Got about, I think, 4 kills on that Banshee. Only a couple of them were actually workers, though. Oh, we actually got mech coming out from Flash. Exciting! I actually shot down a pretty fresh mule there. It's a nice little pickup. This Banshee is going to head home for probably some repairs. That Banshee's getting out of there. Banshees are always still kind of useful, particularly if you know what she does at this point. But if you are going up against a meching player, if you can keep those Banshees alive, it's awesome if you can get air control and move into Banshees against mech. Snipe out tanks and everything else like that. You can break siege positions so easily if you do that. Oh, double hellbat drop coming out of Bomber. Changing up the style. No indication that Flash knows about this. He does have the Vikings out once again and a bit of a supply block, unfortunately. But it looks like he's ready to anticipate some sort of attack here. Let's see if this boost lets him get into the position he wants. See what kind of damage he gets. Oh man, if he can just get underneath. Nice juke there by Flash. See what kind of damage got done there. Not very much. I think he only got 2 with that, because I think his Banshee had gotten 2 as well. There, it splits up into the right things again. So units-wise, even on economy, bit of an investment there from our red Terran player. If we look at the units lost though, pretty even. Simply because one of those hellbat drops was picked off with almost no damage done. Big pile of hellions coming in. Rocks are down, so he's going to start beating away at those. Blue Flame is actually about to finish as well. These Banshees would actually be able to take care of this just fine. I don't know why he hasn't sent his Banshees down there yet. It's going to be an air battle between these two players. It looks like they both understand that at some point it's going to come down to who can get off that better composition. I like how he cloaked for that. Wasn't that cute? That's so funny. Just in case you decide to point those, you know, hellions up, you do a wheelie and start shooting into the air. That's kind of funny. You never know, right? You don't know. Now, there's rocks on this side as well, which would take a long time. These are all 10 armor. Really? Man, those rocks would take days to shoot down. Can't believe they're 10 armor. I do like the aggression here out of Flash. This barracks is in a good place to scout. Still keeping up with this economy. Does need to get down more production facilities though. I think that's his first armory. We only really have those 2 factories producing for him, and he's moving up to his 3rd base. I'd kind of like to see him get down at least another 1 or 2. As we see, actually a 3rd command center already almost finished, and 3 factories pretty much finished. 2 more factories now going down for Flash. It's great. We got mech and probably hellbats going to be flooding out for both of these players. 1 SCV down here to scout. Running in with a bunch of hellions would get a ton of damage in though. Very surprisingly, Bomber's been so passive, expecting Flash to really put in the attack. I don't know who scanned what. Oh, I'm scanned there. So pretty good air army and mech army. He does not see this big rampaging pile of blue flame hellions coming down, and this is great timing for Flash. Oh boy. This is some pretty heavy damage going in here. Run away with the rest. Shoot. Ah, one more shot might have got a couple more. Effective? No. Oh, very effective. Flash is down a lot in supply. I think it's just he didn't get those macro facilities up at the right kind of time, I think. He doesn't have a big bank, so leads me to believe his timing is good, and he is also Flash, so I should just shut the hell up about it. I just don't think he has quite the winner army he needs. These Thors are going to help him help Bomber really take this air control. Even though he doesn't have any tanks, he has a medevac here to help him drop on top of the tanks if he wants to. Oh, there is one Thor out for Flash. Fantastic. Unfortunately, this is going to leave his front door wide open. Sensor tower, that's an expensive thing to lose. Good cancel. But is he going to try to muscle through? It looks like it. There's a lot of Thors here. Oh, there's where I was talking about those banshees, the snipe tanks. One Thor's alive. Bomber takes a pretty significant lead right now. Even after a great hellion run by. There's just nothing in position now to deal with this. If he loses that command center, that'd be pretty rough. And it looks like he's going to. I don't think... Well, they lift. Vikings clean up so much. These banshees are just being giant jerks. No units really rallying across yet. There we go, is the next round. And now there's tanks as a part of it. Gonna try to save that command center. It's real close. And it will get shot down. There's just... Once he lost that air control, look at this. This is so smart from Bomber. Just to be able to use that air control, pushes in at the right time. And crushes through this, even though Flash had all those tanks in position and ready. All he's got left now are hellbats. He's lost position. Oh, he's got to sacrifice so much, but he has to try and break out of this. He loses almost all of his hellbats in one big sweep. He did clear out most of the tanks though. I mean, you have to give him that. Hellbats get right on top of the tanks and kill off most of them. Yeah. So on the production facilities, Flash is pretty much hooped here. Tanks are just getting shot down as soon as they pop out, essentially. Next round's on the way. There's going to be no stopping it, even with this base here making money. Wow. Big hellbat hits. Flash is just barely going to be able to sustain himself. Another base on the way. Bomber not missing a step with this macro. That medevac's in the wrong place. Now Flash doesn't want to give up because this is a best of 3. So he would really need to win. What the hell is he shooting at that for? I don't know if he knows that these units are right here. Siege! Siege! 0-1 upgrade, 0-2 for Bomber. Just ahead by... Oh no! Oh man. Well, Flash did have a great lead in worker skill for a while. Man, that was a clinic from Bomber that made Flash look pretty average in that game. Great hellion run by Flash early on, but just didn't have the map awareness, didn't have the position, and got rolled by a better positioned army. So, congratulations to him. Series goes to Flash, and if you guys didn't know, Bomber obviously went on to do amazing things in WCS, and I believe Flash was eliminated out of it shortly, either at this point or shortly after. So thanks for tuning in, and we will have some more games for you guys in the next little while.